In this video, I will show you how to use a CRS Score calculator for Canada PR and share insider tips on how you can boost your CRS score. If this sounds like what you would like to know, let's get started. Welcome to our free experts. My name is Adeni Adesoyan, and today we are diving into the world of the CRS Score calculator for Canada PR. Whether you are starting your immigration journey or looking to improve your chances of receiving an invitation to apply for Canada PR, it is important that you understand this tool called Canada CRS calculator. In this video, I will walk you through what a CRS score calculator is and how it works, and also I'll be providing you actionable tips to maximize your score. If you find this video helpful, please don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more great tips if you have not already done so. Your subscription to the channel is free, and of course it helps us to know that we are on the right track, and that will encourage us to produce more videos that will help you in future. Also, don't forget to share this video with your friends and family who might benefit from it too. Your support makes all the difference, and thanks for being part of our community. So without further ado, let's get started. Well, CRS is an acronym that stands for Comprehensive Ranking System, and is actually a point-based system used by the Canadian government to assess your eligibility for permanent residency under the Express Entry program. When you use your CRS score calculator for Canada PR, you will see that your score is determined by several key factors. I will discuss these factors one after the other. Number one, age. Younger applicants generally tend to score higher under the age factor, meaning that the older you are, the less the point you will get for the age factor. But that doesn't mean you should give up, because age is just one of the factors that are considered. There are other factors that are considered with your Express Entry profile application. The second ranking factor that they consider is education. Higher level of education tends to give you more points. For example, if your highest level of education is BSc, then you will have less points compared to someone who has masters. In the same vein, someone who has a PhD has the highest points on their education. The next factor to consider is what we refer to as work experience. The longer your work experience, the higher the points you will get under the work experience factor. For someone who has just 1 year work experience, you will have a limited point compared to someone that has 3 or more years of work experience. In other words, once you have 3 or more years of experience, you will have the highest points under the work experience factor. Language proficiency is also another factor that is used under the Express Entry program. For language proficiency, I mean your English and or French language proficiency. So for English, you may need to take an exam known as the IELTS general exam. We will discuss this later on in subsequent videos. Other exams that you can take to prove your English proficiency include the CELPIP and then the PTE exams. Still under language proficiency, if you are good at French, you will have additional points under that. So for the French proficiency, you will need to prove that you've written and passed the TEF French exams. There are also additional factors that are considered to give you points under the Express Entry program. For example, factors such as your provincial nominations, that is, if you get a PMP nomination from any of the provinces in Canada, you'll be given an additional 600 points. If you have a valid job offer, you could also get some points for this. Also, having a relative in Canada can also give you extra points. In other words, a strong CRS score, as calculated by using the CRS score calculator for Canada PR, is crucial because it directly influences your chance of receiving an invitation to apply. By the way, it is important for me to tell you that the least point you can get in your CRS is 0, while the maximum point is 1,200. But I have to say that it is very, very difficult to get 1,200 points. However, if you have a PMP nomination that gives you 600 points added to your current CRS score, then you are likely to get up to 1,000, but you cannot go beyond 1,200 points. Let's proceed to look at the CRS score calculator for Canada PR that many applicants use. By the way, there are several online tools available for you to calculate your CRS score. They will all work similarly by asking you for the same details. However, in this video, I will recommend that you use the standard Canada CRS calculator tool, which is issued by the government of Canada. Let me also point out that the CRS calculation we will be doing using this tool today is actually an approximation of your CRS score. In other words, your CRS score may differ when you create your actual express entry profile. With all of this out of the way, head on to Google to input the Canada CRS calculator. Okay, so now we're on the Google homepage. Enter in the search bar these words, CRS score calculator, which is what I have just done. So, and you click on the search button. So as you can see, Google will give you a list of all the results of your search. So like I mentioned previously, you should go to the Government of Canada website. That is the most authentic tool you should use. Okay? There are other websites that will give you different scores or different tools, but to be sure you are doing the right thing and everything is in order, you should go to the Government of Canada website. So let's click on this. Okay, so the page loads up. So this is what is on the page, as you can see. All right. So the page will ask you a series of questions which you have to input or answer. And then after that, you'll be able to click on this button, which is calculate your score. Okay. All right, so the very first question here is, what is your marital status? So here you have to supply this information. So you choose your marital status. Do you have an annulled marriage, or do you have a common law partner? This is for people who are not married but are living together. You can call them coexisting. Okay, people that are coexisting in the same apartment, or who are not legally married. So divorced or separated, legally separated, married, never married or single, widowed. So if you are single, just click on this, never married or single. So then it now asks you all the questions. Next question is, how old are you? It asks you how old are you. So you have to supply your age. Like I mentioned previously, the older you are, the less the points you get on that age. Okay? But the younger you are, the higher the points you'll be given on that age. So let me just choose a particular age. So let me use 20 years of age, for example. So the next question is, what is your level of education? So under this question, you choose your highest level of education. So if, for example, you have masters, you apply masters and you choose masters, okay? And ignore the BSc that you had before the masters. And if you have a PhD degree, you use your PhD and ignore the masters. In other words, always go for the highest level of education that you have. So let me select. So here, I have masters. As you can see, there are different options. High school graduation or secondary diploma, 1-year program at a university, college, or other institute, 2-year program at a university, college, trade, or technical school, or other institute, bachelor's degree, 3 or more year program at university, college, trade, or technical school. Now, this option, 2 or more certificates, that is diplomas or degrees, you can choose this in as much as you have 2 different certificates, and one of them must have taken you at least 3 or more years to get that certificate. For example, if you have a BSc and you now have an additional diploma that took you like 3 years to get, then you should choose this option. Or if you have a BSc certificate and you have a diploma that took you 2 years to get, you can also choose this option because one of the certificates that you have took you more than 3 years to get. I mean the BSc. Hope this makes sense. Okay, so the next on the line is your master's degree or professional degree needed to practice in a licensed profession. So in this instance, if you have a master's degree, you choose this option. Or if you are a medical doctor, you choose this option because medical practice in Canada is a licensed profession. So you can choose this. Okay? And if you have a PhD, you choose this as well. So let me choose this. So upon choosing that, you see it's asking me other questions. 4B, have you earned a Canadian degree, diploma, or certificate? So if you have earned a certificate in Canada or a diploma, you can choose this option. You can answer yes to the question. So also to answer yes to this question, you must fulfill all of these criteria. So number 1, English or French as a second language must not have been made up more than half of your study. That is, you should not have any foreign language aside English and French making up over 50% of your study. Okay? You must not have studied under an award that required you to return to your home country after graduation. Okay? You must have studied at a school within Canada. Okay? If where you had your schooling is outside of Canada or in a school that is affiliated to a Canadian university or college, but that school is not in Canada, you cannot answer yes to this question. Okay? You have to be enrolled in a full-time program for at least 8 months, unless, of course, you complete this program in whole or in parts between March 2020 and August 2022. In other words, if your program of study is less than 8 months, you did this program after this time frame, then it will not be eligible. So you cannot answer yes to this question. Okay, so I will be answering no to this question because I don't meet all of these requirements. All right. So official languages. Canada has 2 official languages, English and French, in case you didn't know. So you must choose which language you want to use to prove your language proficiency. Is it French or English? So in this instance, are your test results less than 2 years old? The result of that test, of that language proficiency, must be less than 2 years. It is calculated from the day you sit the exam. So are your test results less than 2 years? So choose yes. Which language test did you take for your official language? Is it IELTS? Is it CELPIP? Is it PTE? Or is it TEF? So if you did French, so you need to choose TEF, okay, to prove your French proficiency. But let's say you did English, you took the English exam, IELTS, so you click on IELTS. So it will now give you different options. Speaking, what did you score in your speaking? So I will choose this. So if your score is within this range, you choose it. If it is less than, you choose any of the options that apply to you. So I will be choosing this, 7.5 to 9. For your listening, I will also be choosing this, the highest. For your reading, I will also be choosing this. And then for your writing, I will be choosing this. So it's like I maximized my English proficiency result. So do you have any other language? So if you have any other language, that if you have a French exam that you've taken and passed, you can also click on this and choose it. Is it the TEF or the TCF? TEF or TCF? Those are the two Canadian approved French exams. So I'll be choosing no or not applicable. Okay, work experience. So if you have any work experience in the last 10 years, you'll fill this. You input the details here. So let's say in the last 10 years, I had so let's just say I had 5 years or more. Okay, so I will choose this. So in the last 10 years, how many total years of foreign skilled work experience do you have? Now, by foreign skilled experience, they are referring to the skills or the experience you have from your home country, not from Canada. Okay, so if you are from Nigeria, the experience you have from Nigeria. Okay, so let's say I have 3 years or more. Okay, so the other question is question number 7. Do you have a certificate of qualification from a Canadian province, territory, or federal body? This applies to people that are already in Canada or people that have studied in Canada. So if you have not studied in Canada, you will choose no here. Okay, so it's also asking you for additional points. Do you have a valid job offer? Now, a valid job offer from a Canadian employer means that employer has given you your employment offer and they want you to come over to Canada to work for them. And bear in mind that the job offer must be for full-time. Part-time job is not allowed. It has to be full-time. It has to be a kind of job that is approved under the LMIA or exempted from it. The job also has to be for at least 1 year from the time you become a permanent resident. So meaning that the job has to be valid for at least 1 year, even after you landed in Canada as a PR. So a job offer of about 6 months, 4, 5 months, or 11 months does not count. It has to be at least 12 months after you've landed in Canada. And also the job offer will not be considered to be valid if it is issued by an employer who is an embassy or a high commission or consulate in Canada, or if the job offer is from the list of ineligible employers. So you can click on this link to find more about the job offers. So here I'll be clicking no. So the next option or the next question is, do you have a nomination certificate from a province or territory? This is for those that already have a PMP from any of the provinces in Canada. You know, I told you about the 600 points I'll be giving to you if you have a PMP nomination. So if you don't already have a PMP nomination, you'll be choosing no here. But if you do, you choose yes. If you choose yes, then it will give you 600 additional points. So I chose no here already. So number 10, question 10. Do you or your spouse or common law partner, if they will come to Canada, have at least one brother or sister? So if you have a brother or sister or a sibling in Canada already who is a PR or a citizen, you choose yes here. And if you do so, if you do choose yes, they will give you additional points, about 15 points actually. So I'll be choosing no here. So at the end of the day, let me click on this button to calculate my score. So this is my result. Total score, like I mentioned, is 1,200. So let me see what my overall score here. So overall score is what? 561. Comprehensive ranking score for me is 561, which is actually a good score. By the way, if you check through where I had the highest points, it is from my human capital factors, which included my age. You know, I chose the option that I'm 20 something years or 20 years of age, and my level of education is high, master's, and then I maxed out my IELTS. So that is why my first official language here is giving me 136 points. The second language, which is French, I chose no, so I had 0 for that. My Canadian work experience, 80. Okay, so in total here I had 461. So for the other factors, which is my spouse factors, I chose that I'm single, so I have 0 points under that. For my skill transferability factors, which included my language proficiency and Canadian work experience or education, 50-50. So subtotal is 50 here. Then foreign work experience, I also had 50 points. So in total here is 100. So for the others, additional points, that is for PMP nomination or job offer or studying in Canada or French language, I had 0 here since I don't have any of this. So in total, I had 561, which is not a bad score if you ask me. It's very high. So if you are older, you are not likely to get up to this point. If you are older or you don't have a high level of education, you will not get up to this point. So that is how it is. So with this, you have an idea of the likely score that you have even before having filled or created your express entry profile. Now let's consider some real-life examples and scenario analysis. We've taken a look at a couple of real-life examples using the CRS Score calculator for Canada PR. The first example. Imagine a 30-year-old applicant with a bachelor's degree, has 5 years of work experience. The individual has maxed out their IELTS. With every section filled out correctly on the CRS Score calculator for Canada PR, you will see a strong cumulative score. A slight improvement in language scores can actually lead to a significant increase in points. So, with that stated, let's fill in the details and see what this individual will get as their score. So, assuming this individual is 30-year-old and single. Okay, so the marital status is single. How old are you? Their age, they are 30 years of age. Okay. Highest level of education, let's say master's. Do they earn a Canadian degree? No. Official language, Canada's official language is English. Okay, so yes, I'll choose yes here. Which language did they take? Let's say IELTS. Speaking, maximum score. Listening, maximum score as well. Reading, maximum score. And writing, maximum score. Do they have any other language? No, not applicable. Work experience, okay. The person has 5 years work experience. Do they have any experience in Canada? No. Okay. So total foreign years of experience, 3 years or more. So by the way, this individual has 5 years. So, but since we don't have any 5 years, you can just choose this, 3 years or more. Do they have any certificate of qualification from Canada? No. Additional points? So, no. Do they have any nomination? No. Okay. Do they have any spouse or common partner? No. Or do they have any spouse? Or do they have any siblings in Canada? No. So you choose now. Let's calculate the score. Look at the results. The result here is what? 476. If you remember, comparing with the earlier results we got, we had 561 in the first result. Okay? Even though they have about the same factors, except that this second individual is actually older, is 30 years. Okay? By the way, the first individual was 20 years. So because of the difference in age, this individual had a total lower score of 476, while the first one had 561. So like I mentioned previously, the older you are, the less the score you will have for H. As you can see, so they had a very small score, 105 under H. Okay? Alright, so let's take a look at another example. So in this third example, the individual is actually an applicant with advanced education but limited work experience. Let's assume they have the same age, which is 30 years, and they have advanced education. Okay, of course they have masters, but they have limited work experience. So let's see what their score will be. Everything will be the same except for the work experience. Okay, so the person is single, is 30 years of age. The same level of education, masters. Have you any Canadian degree? No, just as we input earlier on for the other guy. Yes. Language test, IELTS. Maximum points. Listening, maximum. Reading, maximum. Writing, maximum. Do you have any other language? No. Not applicable. Work experience. So in this instance, rather than choose 5 years work experience, let's just put 1 year work experience. So this is the only distinguishing factor we have in this individual. Oh, sorry. I meant to put none for this. Okay, this is for Canada. Does the person have a Canadian work experience? No, just as I put input for the other guy. So, but for the following one, work experience, they have just 1 year rather than 5 years, which the other guy had. Okay. Do you have any certificates? No. Job offer? No. Do you have a nomination from any province in Canada? No. This also no. So let's calculate the score and see. Okay. So 451. As you can see, 451 compared to the score we had earlier on. Each of these factors can actually affect your score, depending on what you input. After using your CRS score calculator for Canada PR, it is important to know that you can also improve your score. Having a low score at the end of your simulation is not the end of the world. Let me give you some effective tips you can follow to improve your CRS score. Number 1, enhance your English language proficiency. If you believe you can do better, consider taking your language test. Even a minor increase in your IELTS or self-pip scores can actually add several points when you calculate using the CRS score calculator. Number 2, you can also try to upgrade your credential. For example, you may want to pursue a higher education or have your current qualification reassessed. Additional certifications can boost your score more significantly than you think. If you have a BSc already, you may want to take the route of having a master's as well, because the higher your educational certificate, the higher the score you will get under the educational criteria. Thirdly, try to accumulate more work experience. If you have just 1 year work experience in your field from your home country, it is a wise decision to take additional steps and spend more time in that field so that you could have additional years of work experience that you can claim. Canada will give you a higher score if you have 3 or more years of work experience. Number 4, try to explore the provincial nominal programs. A nomination from a Canadian province can add a substantial number of points. In fact, you can get as much as 600 points added to your current CRS score if you receive a PMP nomination from another province. Number 5, do you have any family in Canada? I mean, a sibling or spouse currently residing in Canada. By the way, they have to be a citizen or PR. If you claim a family connection in Canada, you can have at least 15 points added to your current CRS score. Also, try to explore the job offer route. If you can apply for jobs from your own home country and you are lucky to be chosen, you can have an additional point added to your CRS score. I must emphasize that it is very difficult to get a job from outside of Canada if you are not currently in the country. However, there's nothing impossible, and it's always a good thing to try your best. But while doing that, make sure you steer clear of fake jobs. In summary, using a CRS score calculator for Canada PR is a crucial step in your journey to immigrate to Canada. By understanding how your CRS score is calculated and following the strategies I have discussed in this video, you should be able to optimize your profile for a better chance of success. If you have any questions, don't forget to drop them in the comment section. Please share this video with others who might benefit from learning. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.